Hello and welcome back to Here We Tow. Today Jules and I are back out and we have arrived at Hawes Caravan and Motorhome Club site in Yorkshire. We're actually right in the Yorkshire Dales, in the Wensleydale area, and this area is stunning. As you'll know, I'm from Yorkshire, I've grown up around this area and it's beautiful. In this video I'm going to show you the campsite and then we'll go down into Hawes, take a look. It's literally a short walk, so if you're coming you can walk down there, and then I'll show you a couple of other bits and talk about what there is to do in the area. Now, the more observant amongst you will know that this is not our motorhome. No, Jules and I this week are out in a Swift Carrera 144 campervan. So I will be doing a separate full review of the campervan to tell you obviously all about it. But in terms of how we're getting on with it, well, obviously it's a little bit smaller than we're used to. It's 6 metres. I'll give you a little sneak peek if you like. So the habitation door on the near side, because it's UK. Swift are a Yorkshire manufacturer as well, based near Hull. So if you want to dive in and take a little look. So this has actually got a lounge at the rear. So you've got a front dining area and then a washroom on the off side, and then that lounge area that converts into a double bed. So Jules and I, we arrived yesterday and we tested that out. So I will, as I say, I will be doing a full review so you can see the review and find out more about the Carrera. But back to Hawes Caravan and Motorhome Club site. Now, this site has around 120 hard-standing pitches with electric. There's no grass pitches. Some of the pitches are standing with awning and some of them are non-awning. And then there's also a fully serviced area. I call that the VIP area because it's literally on its own. As you head up there towards the side of reception, there's a little sign that actually says posh end. No, it doesn't. It says fully serviced pitches, and it's its own little enclosed area. And as well as being fully serviced, there's also a service point in the middle as well for dropping your waste, your water waste and your chemical disposal. And that's near the bin area too. So we are on pitch 3. Now, there is a length limit here at Hawes. The length limit is 8 metres. So we wouldn't have got our motorhome on here either. But it's worth noting, we came up the A1 and then along, I think it was the A684. If you've got an 8-foot wide caravan or a larger motorhome, that will not be the most relaxing drive you've probably ever had. I did say to Jules, I was like, yeah, I'm glad I'm not in the Travel Master right now. It was a little bit cheeky in parts and there's quite a lot of big traffic on there. So that's just one to think about. No problems, obviously, in a campervan. So I can see this being a great area for campervanning. Now, the site itself, literally, Hawes Village is just over there. We're going to head there very soon. But as you pan round, Jules is just giving you a little look at the beautiful Yorkshire Dales. When we drove in yesterday, it wasn't quite so beautiful. It was literally in mist. And one thing you'll notice in Yorkshire is dry stone walling. Really boring, I know, but in Yorkshire, like, you'll know when you're in Yorkshire because, I mean, like, you can see on the hills, I don't know if it'll show on the camera, but all those lines across those fields, those are dry stone walls. And it's still quite a big thing even now, dry stone walling. The local colleges, certainly around Skipton, there's a lot of agricultural courses and farming courses still. So anyway, less about dry stone walling because it's probably not all that interesting. Right, over there, so as Jules and I came in, there's pitches all the way around the back of us as well. The site, it's January and the site's really quiet. But this big field here, if you're bringing a dog, there is a huge enclosed dog walking field. So this is fantastic as well if you have got a dog with you. There's obviously loads of walking as well to do in the area. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to grab my bag out of the camper van and then we'll have a little trundle around the site. I'm going to explain the entrance barrier because that's new and that's coming to quite a few of the club sites. We'll have a look around in general and then we'll trot off on our adventures. So right, I'll grab my bag and we'll get going. Right, I've got my little backpack, so I'll just slam my camper van door. Oh, we all love that noise. It was funny, when we collected it, Jules actually said that he was looking forward to slamming that in the middle of the night. That's probably an anti-camper van joke, so I do apologise. But yes, so we're getting used to the slamming of the door. Right, now what we'll do, this up here is the reception area. There's also some other buildings. I think they've possibly got a holiday cottage here. I'm not entirely sure. But the reception area is just here. Now, when Jules and I came in, we came from the barriers over there. I'm going to take you to have a look at those in a minute and explain about the new ANPR system. But we drove in, again, nicely accessible here though, and then we made our way up to reception. It's all really well signposted. The reception area, I went in there, there's also an information point, and I was met by Jan, who is one of the members of the team here, really friendly, and she explained about the site. So that's where you're going to come in and park up, and then what you'll do is you'll go and find a pitch, and then you'll send a message back and let the site know which pitch you've gone on. Normally at many of the Caravan and Motorhome Club sites, you used to go back and get a fob. You don't do that anymore. It's all ANPR. That's automatic number plate recognition. Down this gap, this is where I was saying about the fully serviced pitches. So you're going to drive down there, and then there's also a bin point as well, just on the left-hand side. So that's your reception and information. Now, the main bulk of pitches are down this end here. So this is the main area near the facility block. There's only one facility block on site. Where Jules and I have gone, which is another beautiful view again across there, where Jules and I have gone, there's no facilities there. So if you do want to be nearer, probably don't head near number 3 and onwards where we've gone. But that's the area we chose because there was no one else around. So we don't want to disturb people when we're doing our reviews. So this is the rest of the main site. Dotted around, you'll find the service points, which will have fresh water, grey waste if you've got an aqua roll and a waste master, and then a chemical disposal point. So there's a number of those around the site. And then the service block is just down there on that left-hand side. So we'll fire off down there and just have a quick look at the block, and then we'll go to the gate. So this is the service block on the site. It's again made of beautiful stone. I won't go on any more about stone. You've got the male and the female washrooms. It is the same sort of club standard across the network. They are always very good. You also have a dishwashing room here and an accessible room as well. So all that is here in this. There is also a cut through. So if you're on the other side of the site, there is a little gate as well. So you can cut through. You don't have to walk all the way back round. So that's the facility block. We'll go next and just have a quick look at the security barrier and talk about how that system works. As you drive up the driveway, you'll see obviously the 2 lanes. Now, if you have the fast check-in, which is here, obviously follow the yellow arrow. If you haven't done that, then you follow the reception check-in. So what fast check-in is, if you're a member, you'll have your usual leisure vehicle, which obviously I didn't when I arrived. I had a vehicle, I had no idea what the registration number was. But if you have your regular leisure vehicle on your membership, you'll have your registration number. Now, when you book here, you supply your registration number of your tow car, your motorhome, your campervan. And when you arrive, you then take the fast check-in lane. You drive up to this barrier where the ANPR camera will read your registration number. Barrier goes up, you go on the site, you literally find your pitch, you'll have instructions, but you then send a message with your pitch number to the site team and they'll put you on that pitch. So you don't even have to go in and talk to the staff if you really don't like talking to people. You'll already have fully paid as well, they'll have taken full payment. So it really is a quick in and out system, and you don't need the key fob anymore. When you go out, there's a separate barrier for the exit. You go out through a different way. That's down the other end of the site. Again, the camera will read your number plate. It'll also, I'm not sure if it's still the usual drive over as well. Barrier up and off you go. And again, if you go out for the day, when you come back, simply drive up and in you go. Now, if you haven't registered like me, then you just follow the other line on the left-hand side, and then the site team, they just let me in. They're obviously monitoring the cameras and they let me in. These pads here are for when you used to have the fob, you just touch them on there. So that's what that system is. So that's how this new ANPR system is going to work with the Caravan and Motorhome Club. And got a lovely screen as well. I haven't as yet driven in and activated it yet, so I don't know whether I don't know what it does, to be honest, do I? Because I haven't seen it. Right, come on. So there we go. That's the security barriers. Now, when you want to go out for the day, let's talk about what you're going to do here. So first of all, Hawes. When you want to go out, either walk down the road into Hawes itself, or you can head out, obviously, in your vehicle. In Hawes, there's a fabulous selection of small cafes, pubs. There's even the Wensleydale Creamery, so if you like dairy products, you'll be happy there. I believe there is an ice cream parlour in Hawes. I haven't tried it myself yet. And there is a fish and chip shop, which is always exciting. So that's what there is to do in Hawes. If you like to go out for a drive, for example, at the end of the club site road, instead of turning left towards Hawes, turn right. That is going to take you out into the Yorkshire Dales. You'll go up a lane, and up there you'll find Butter Tubs, which there's a beautiful viewpoint there, stunning scenery, and there are a number of pubs in the small villages dotted around the Dales. So if you want a nice drive out in the Dales, you can head out that way, turning right at the end of the club site driveway. Other things to do are Aysgarth Falls. That's one I do recommend. If you go down to Aysgarth, which again isn't too far from the site, probably about 10-15 minutes, there's car parks there and you can walk down to the falls and then along the river as well. There's a number of little coffee shops and tea rooms at Aysgarth. If you want to go a little bit further, head back out towards the A1 and you'll come to Leyburn. Leyburn's one of the larger towns in the area, and it's beautiful to drive through. There's a number of shops and things to do in Leyburn. There's no huge towns around here. If you want a big town, realistically, you are literally heading back out to the A1 and going, well, you probably have to go either somewhere like Boroughbridge or Catterick, even down towards Grassington and Skipton if you head down the other way. So in terms of what there is to do in the area, it's a lot about outdoors, scenery, walking, cycling, and just enjoying yourselves really. Right, let's wander back over to the pitch and round up really. So what Jules and I are going to be doing is we're going to be reviewing the Swift Carrera next. That's my next thing. I'm hoping the rain holds off. You never know with the Yorkshire weather. Definitely bring your coat, that's what I'd say. To be fair, it's one of those places where it is all valleys, and quite often you can get quite a bit of rain in the Yorkshire Dales. So always bring a lovely coat, even in August. So we're going to hopefully get a review of the camper van done, see what we think to that one. That video will be on the channel, all being well, after this video. So that is a fairly brief look at Hawes Caravan and Motorhome Club site, ideal for camper vans, small motorhomes and smaller caravans. If you're coming in something bigger, just be mindful that the drive-in can be a little bit challenging. But otherwise, it's a stunning area with some beautiful Yorkshire villages to go and visit. Hopefully you've enjoyed having a look. We've enjoyed staying, and so far we're enjoying the Carrera. So as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.